Hi everyone, it's Elizabeth of ERW Plans and Elizabeth Williamsberg Planner Concepts, online erwplans.com, on Instagram erw_plans, on Etsy, etsy.com/shop/erwplans, and our monthly subscription through our Patreon, ERW Plans. Today, I'm going to show you how to do your 6-month Passion Planner roadmap. If you're new to Passion Planner, you may not really know much about the roadmap, so I figure I'll go over it real quick. When you first get your Passion Planner, in the very opening bit, there is your roadmap to fill out that gives you a lifetime 3-year, 1-year, and 3-month goals to set up. You select one of those and then you plan it out in a Passion Planner roadmap for the next year, picking your main game changer and then kind of mind mapping everything. When you get through June and you've done your June review, you'll get to your Passion roadmap, which is exactly the same as the one at the beginning of the year. The idea is to basically reform, kind of look over what you did earlier in the year. What was your plan? How did that work out for you? And how are we going to reform that plan? My first feeling is that I don't really need to redo my year goals. What I had planned 6 months ago hasn't really changed that much as far as like lifetime goals and my 3-year and 1-year goals. It's a good time to take a look at what my 3-month goals were and what I had achieved, but the 1 year, 3 years, and lifetime, not so much. I mean, in fact, if I could make a suggestion, and I'm speaking directly to the Passion Planner people right now, I would very strongly suggest in future editions, instead of doing a 3-month, 1 year, 3 years lifetime, to do either a 6-month, 1 year, 3 or 5 years in lifetime, or just do a 3-month, 6-month, 1 year, and maybe 5 years or something. Put a 6-month goal in there. Ideally, if I was doing it, I would have a lifetime goal, a 1-year goal, or lifetime 5 years, 1 year, and a 6-month. And then when you get to this page here for your 6 months, you could go back to your original plan and say, okay, here's what I've accomplished in my 6-month plan, and then you could reform your 6-month plan. Either way, I don't think you need to redo your roadmap whatsoever. And so what I've done is I've actually created 2 single-page stickers that you can use in place of doing this roadmap. Ideally, how I would use this, and I'll probably do a sticker next year if Passion Planner is still doing this lifetime 3-year, 1 year, 3-month thing. I would, if I was setting this up as Passion Planner, have 2 pages in the beginning. I would have my lifetime 5-year, 1 year, 6-month goal, break down my 6-month goal over here, and then have an action plan in place here. At the 6-month mark here, go back, see what you've achieved here. I will do another video next year on how I set up my roadmap at this spot. Essentially, I start with my lifetime goals and work backwards in a method very similar to what I'm going to show you today. Essentially, at this point, what I would do is, like I said, if I'm setting this up, I would go back to my 1-year goals, see what 6-month goals I've completed and what goals I need to work on to get all my 1-year goals completed. First things first is I'm going to take my stickers. These are available in the shop as of today. So you can go to Etsy shop, ERW Plans, and get these stickers. It comes as a 2-page download, or I've just launched them as actual physical product that you can get shipped to you. This is only for the medium as of right now. I talked about this previously where I did a survey and my members really wanted to have physical product over other sizes, so we're launching the physical product first. Okay? Hopefully for next year or sometime in the near future, I will have the stickers, both physical product and as downloads for the other sizes, but you're just the mediums right now. So we're gonna take it, peel it off the sheet. I always try to make sure that I've got this one edge lined up, because if not, as you can see here, then you're gonna have that show through. So you wanna make sure everything is very even and very level. The other thing you can do is if you put that down and it's not even and level, you can always washi over that. I have white washi just in case, but my stickers, the paper I'm using can be removed one time. It's just a little bit difficult, but they are removable one time only. If you use the Avery paper like I recommend for using if you're downloading, then those are infinitely removable. So I am pulling up a little bit of my paper. So what I'm actually gonna do is smooth this down here. And then I'll show you the washi tape solution. If you use a piece of paper that's not gonna come up, you can get MT washi tape that is just pure white. Like this. It comes in 2 sizes. If you've made a large mistake, you can use the larger one, or if your mistake's a little bit smaller, a little bit more manageable, you can use the smaller size washi tape. Either way, you can take your washi, line it up, and cover up any issues that you might have there. Now, there's 2 pages to this sheet. The other page, as you can see here, this is just my 6-month goal for the next 6 months. The other sheet that we have is the mid-year action plan sheet. This is where we're going to break down our roadmap into actionable items. So once again, we're gonna line this up. Make sure it's even with the long edge this time, so that it covers everything that we want covered. And then smooth it out. And when you line it up with the long edge first, as you can see, it covers nicely, and you don't end up with the funkiness here that you see on this side that we'll have to cover with some washi tape. This is the MT slim washi tape that I was telling you about. If you have any kind of little mistakes like that when you're putting it down, you can use this washi tape to fix that mistake. I'm just using my slice tool to open up the plastic on the packaging. And then we can get this out. As you can see, it looks large at first, but these actually subdivide into 3 thin rolls. So that way you don't have to worry about covering up the writable area of the sticker. This might be a little bit thinner than you'd want, depending on how much space we accidentally covered up here. And then you can either do the whole edge, or you can just do the bit, like a whiteout situation there. I'm gonna do the whole edge, and then use my slice tool to cut it at the edge here. The other thing you can do if you run into a situation like that is you can use your colorful washi tape to color code your edge here, so that it's always very easy to find your road. The next thing that we're gonna do is actually plan out our goals. Now, I believe that when we're setting these goals, we should always set up our SMART goals. What are SMART goals? If you're familiar with this, you probably already know what I'm gonna say, but if you haven't heard of SMART goals, I'm gonna try to go over it really quick. A SMART goal is a goal that is specific, it is measurable, it is actionable, it is realistic, and it is time-based. So, I know some other people out there will, instead of realistic, have resonant or relatable as your R, but traditionally it is going to be realistic, because you can have a goal like conquer the world. It is not a SMART goal. One of the reasons is that it's not realistic. Some of them will say that that goes into specific or actionable, but you can have conquer the world as your actionable goal with a ton of action items But if those aren't realistic action items, you can do them and you're just going to be turning your wheels. So we want a goal that is specific. It needs to be very concrete. Take over the world, not particularly concrete, right? We want something that is measurable so that we can kind of track it as time goes by. Something that is actionable so that we can make action steps in our action plan. Something that's realistic, as we went over, and something that is time-based or anchored in time so that we have a deadline when this has to happen. Also, they're a little bit different than measurable. With measurable, we're measuring our steps toward that end goal. For me, I'm going to make my 6-month SMART goal. Something that's come up for those of you guys who know me is that I do, in addition to being a full-time photographer and running my little sticker empire, I also have a day job that pays for my health insurance. And unfortunately, that day job's running out at the end of the year, most likely. So I'm going to show you how I make my SMART goal. First of all, it is definitely going to be time-based. My SMART goal needs to be done by the 31st of December. So there's our time frame. Now we need to be real specific on this. In this case, I'm trying to replace an income. So we're going to say that my income that I need to replace for next year is going to be roughly about $2,700 a month, okay? So my goal is going to be, by the end of the year, I will make gross. Once again, we're going to be very specific. So I'm going to gross. Here's my measurable item, because I can keep track of how much I'm making. $27.73 per month. Average. Some months we might make more, some months we might make less, by this date. Is this something that I can create action steps to achieve? Absolutely. So it's actionable. Is it specific? I think it is incredibly specific. We have a number, we have a target that we can hit. We're not kind of going, I'm going to be, fully, financially independent or something. Nope. We have a very specific, we're going to know if we can hit this goal or not. Is it actionable? Yep. Is it realistic? I think it's realistic. Now, some people might say, nope, totally not. But at this point, I've been making enough money with other income streams that I think that this is a rather realistic goal. Especially when I'm putting that average on there. That gives me a little bit of wiggle room. So, and it is time bound. We've got that final date. Now, in the sticker for the mid-year roadmap that's available in the store, you'll see that it goes off in one direction, just like your 6-month plan here goes off to the top. But you don't have to do it that way. In this case, I have 2 main sources of income that I want to focus on for my passion planner. We're going to focus on, let's do these 2 colors here. Let's do purple and blue. Okay. I have my passion planner business, which is going to be my main focus right here. So we'll make that my passion planner. And then I have my secondary, or my grown-up job, we'll call it, which is photography. When you subdivide this down, what you want to focus on are answering questions until you can get to action items. So you're going to kind of drill down from what your ultimate goal is here, in this case, grossing $2,700 a month and change. And you're going to drill down into how you're going to do that and with what. So every step going forward when I'm making this roadmap should answer or ask the question how and what. Eventually we'll get into additional questions such as with whom, when, maybe even why. But to start off, we want to just drill down and talk about how and what. This first subdivision happened already. What am I going to do? I'm going to gross $27.73 a month. Next question we're going to ask is, how are you going to do that? We're going to do that with my passion planner, and we're going to do that with photography. Now, there's no right or wrong way to do this. I'm just kind of showing you how I'm going about redoing this. And the next thing that we're going to do is subdivide even further. And I'm going to show you exactly why this one little guy going off to the side here isn't that much of a problem when we're drilling down the way we are, because there's going to be some overlap between the two. And I want to leave a lot of space. So the first thing we're going to do is say, okay, if what I'm going to do is gross $27.73 per month on average, and how I'm going to do that is with my passion planner and my photography business, the next question becomes, well, how am I going to use the passion planner and how am I going to use the photography business to achieve this goal? And that's where we're going to subdivide even further. Just going to clean up my handwriting a little bit here. All right. First thing I want to talk about is our income streams. I'm going to actually pull those kind of off to the side, in the top, in the bottom, in their relative corners. So I'm going to have, just drill down here into income streams. And then from here, I'm going to drill down even further into which income streams I'm talking about here. For those of you that aren't like super savvy on business here, income stream is basically what it sounds like. How am I going to make money? Where is my income going to come from? Where's the cash flow? Cash flow, income stream, kind of get it? Okay. So that is real important to know where my money is going to be coming from before I can make any future plans. In this case, for photography, there are quite a few options. We have portraits and seniors. And by seniors, I mean high school seniors. And my goal there is going to be to average about 4 sessions at about $775 each per month. I've already crunched some of these numbers, so if you're wondering, well, where the hell are you getting these numbers from? That's a whole other like business class, okay? Personal brand photography is something else that I do. And I'm just going to abbreviate that as personal branding. And that's going to put me at 2 clients, or 2 quarterly clients, at $14.99 each. You might also, let's say, take on a wedding here or there. So I can say we can do a wedding. Once again, this is on my monthly basis. And we'll say that we make $27.75 from one wedding on average. And then we can have our other streams, our miscellaneous streams. In this case, we'll have corporate photography. Corporate. And we'll have 1 client once again at $27.75 for that month. And then we can also have an other category if we wanted to go into another category. So I could have, let's say, other things we could possibly get money from. And I'll just stick that right over here. Other income. And then from there we might have winning contests. They usually have cash prizes. We can have a publication, getting published. Something along that line, or I've taught at conferences before, so I can put teach as another potential source of income. We can do the same thing then with the passion planner. And I'm just going to go right to the top on this one, the same as I did down there. Once again, this isn't like a class for businesses or something, so some of this might not make sense if you're not into business, but it's the same kind of principle for whatever your goal is for the next 6 months. If it's to lose 20 pounds, you're going to then go, well, how am I going to do that? And then you'll say, well, I can join a program. And then you could drill it down to, do I want to join Noom or Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or Beachbody or whatever. So for my income streams, for my passion planner, I can look at monetizing YouTube. I can look at my blog. I can look at being a passion planner rep, which I am, by the way. If you use the link in the comments, it'll get you 10% off, just FYI. And of course, there's these stickers. And then we can go and subdivide stickers even further into our different categories. So let's say we've got digital stickers. What kind of stickers? We've got digital downloads. We've got actual physical stickers. And then we've got the Patreon account, monthly subscription. Now, I'll drill down even further at this point. I'm going to switch up from my colored markers now, because now we're going to get into a little bit more of the nitty-gritty. With each of my income streams, I want to take a look at what does it take to make each of those successful. First, I'm going to note for my Pash Fam Rep, the max I can make on that, maybe. With the stickers, we want to once again put our goals in there. So we're going to say we want to have an average sale of $28, which means we need about 100 sales each month. If you guys have worked retail before, this might start sounding kind of familiar. I worked retail a lot when I was in college. Every store gave you a daily sales goal, a weekly sales goal, a monthly sales goal, an average sales goal. Some places even gave you an items per transaction sales goal. Don't just sell one big ticket item. You want, even if it's one big ticket item, you want to throw in there that cheap add-on because you want to sell more product. Sell until they say stop. All of those numbers come from somewhere, and that's kind of where we're drilling down into here. For my Patreon, we can drill down even further. We have 3 levels. We have a $5 level, we have the $10 level, and then we have the $20 level. I need to know how many people each month do I need to have at each of those levels. I can calculate that out. For my physical stickers, I need to know what does it take for me to get to that physical sticker. Okay? I'm going to need to have printing supplies. I'm going to need to do shipping, which is also something that's required for the Patreon, so we're going to go shipping. Patreon doesn't necessarily need the same stuff as the physical for all levels, but for the $10 and $20 levels, I'm going to need to figure out the shipping and the printing supplies. So I'm also going to attach that there. Make little arrows so I know which way everything's going here. I'm going to need cutting. How am I going to cut this? Okay. With shipping, we also need postage. Digital downloads, we have time, Etsy cost, etc. So we keep drilling down. With YouTube, how am I going to monetize my YouTube? Well, one of the things that I can do with that and the blog is associate links through Amazon. Blog, I can do maybe a publication, maybe get a book deal or something. From that, I want to go, who buys it? What will it be about? Do we want to self-publish? Or actually get published? And do we want to do physical or digital? Already you should be seeing this looks a lot different than what's described over here when you're doing these roadmaps, because we have a different ultimate goal for this page here. And what I want to do here is we're just mind mapping. We're trying to go and get everything out that we're going to need so we can put together actual action steps to come to our SMART goal, the action part of our SMART goal. All right, let's see, this would be ads. Sponsors. Okay. So, down with the photography, it's a little bit different because this is a business that I've been running for a while. We need to look at what is it going to take for me to get these numbers here? What's it going to take for me to get these numbers up here? Okay. Up here, this is still very much kind of a work in progress, which is why we're trying to figure out what are the costs. What's my average sale going to be? If that's not making sense, let me know. I can try to do another video. I can do a live. If you have questions, leave them as comments, and I'll try to gather them together and kind of do a Facebook Live or a YouTube Live. One of the things about the Patreon that we've mentioned is that if you go to the Patreon website, ERW plans right now, you'll see that there's a unique Facebook group where I can answer all of these questions and do lives to kind of drill down more here rather than just the one weekly video on YouTube. So, something to keep in mind. The big thing is, how am I going to get people to give me the money for stickers or for any of these income streams in the photography section? And that's what we're going to go into next. Where did the money come from for these sections? Okay. So what I'm going to do in each section, once again we're color coding because I'm all about the color coding, is we're going to look at what do I need. I'm going to need a business plan. Because from that business plan, I can create my marketing. And with my marketing, I'm going to subdivide that even further into free marketing, cash money marketing, and what is known as sweat equity. Now I want to try and give myself a lot of room to write on my marketing ideas. Okay. For my business plan, in order to do this marketing, I'm going to need to know who my ICP is. That's what is my ideal client's profile. Those are very tied together. Okay? And I'm going to set up the same thing up here. This is my business plan. I need to come up with to make all of this work. And once again, it's tied to my marketing. Once again, tied to my ideal client profile. And once again, we'll divide that up into free, into sweat equity, and then into paid. And I'm running out of room on my marketing here, so I'm just gonna plop that right on down this way. Because if I gotta spend cash money, that'll come out of my business plan. All right, from here, we're just gonna keep drilling down like we did up here. Do you see how we're just kind of brainstorming answers to all of the problems? The problem being, what do I need? Money. How do I get money? I need marketing. For marketing, I need my business plan. For my business plan, I need to know who my client is. And then we just kind of branch out and go in all the directions until I've spit out my entire brain into this giant, colorful, but totally creative and chaotic mind map. And then the next thing is we need to turn this madness into an action plan, which is what the other side of our page is for. Our second sheet on our sticker page has two sections: action steps and timeline, which I've helpfully included on the sticker itself, what I need to do and by when, and my creative cohort. If you've ever done the Right Brain business plan, the creative cohort is essentially your board of advisors, the people that you trust, the people that you can turn to, the people that can help you out when you need it. Now, there are a few different ways that you can do this. You can subdivide this page into one-time actions. Your timeline here, say one time. Monthly, so what you're going to do every month. Weekly, what you'll do every week. Daily, what you will do every day. For each task, if there's someone that can help you, you're going to list that person here. This is something that comes out of the book Never Eat Alone. If you look at that book, if you've read that book, you know relationships, everything is tied, all of your successes is tied into relationships. So I would suggest making a page in the back of your planner with everyone you know. Brainstorm every human being that you have contact info for. So then you can go from that contact page to here. And I actually have a sticker, my potential vendors client sticker here. I can go here and go, oh, I need help with this. Here, that's the person. I need help with this. I can contact that person. You're just going to kind of flip back and forth for your action plan, if that makes sense. So, if you're following how the planner is set up to do it, what you would then do is go through and number everything, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. And then you're going to grab the first one off of there and stick that into your weeklies. We're going to do this slightly differently. We're going to divide this up. Let me have my color coding system again. And I'm going to go with my pinky purple and my indigo blue here. I think that'll work the best to differentiate the two. And I'm going to say, okay, what is my first step on of my plans that are going to get me to my goal? And that's going to be setting up my business plans. So I've already actually set up a photography business plan. So what I'm going to do is say, first, we're going to revisit my business plan. And I want to do this probably by the end of July. In fact, I'm not even going to give myself that long. I'm going to say within the first 2 weeks of July. So we're going to give myself a deadline of 13 July. Next thing I'm going to do is break that down. I'm going to say review my creative live business classes that I've done. There's a lot of great business classes on Creative Live. And there's a link on this video so that you can get, I think it's $15 off your next class, or maybe it's $50 off a Creator's Pass. I'd have to check. I'm going to say those also will get reviewed by the 13th of July, which is actually pretty ambitious for the classes that I want to review. I'm going to do I have them listed. Marketing your photography business. Day design business. And book yourself solid. I'm also going to put in as a question mark, join Level Up, which is a $99 a month business mastermind type class for photographers. We'll also make that a 13 July goal. I have a question mark there because I still need to research that. And I can always bounce that idea for that off my friend Tess, who's much more level-headed than I am about these sorts of things. So revisiting my business plan, not necessarily something that I need someone to help me with. I'm just going to go over some Creative Live classes, look and see if that makes sense. But joining a new mastermind group and investing in myself, that's something I might want to ask my friend about. We're going to review and reanalyze my right brain business plan. And we're also going to do that by the 13th. Okay. At the same time, I'm going to set up a new right brain business plan. For the Passion Planner business. I'm going to do competitive analysis. This one will have a different deadline. I'm going to put this one all the way out to the 31st. And then I'm going to break down my analysis goals a little bit more. So let's say by the 6th or the 7th, I'm going to have my competitive analysis done. I can ask Chelsea for help. She's been doing this a lot longer than I have. I can come up with my cost of doing business. I'll make that and SWOT. Once again, if you have questions like what the fuck is SWAT, by the way, yes, I do swear, then if you're in any of the levels of the Patreon, you can ask me the questions in our secret little Facebook group, and I will answer those for you. So I'll do this. So I was going to say figure out cost of goods and set prices, and we will have that done by 14 July. And let's see, what else could we do there? Set store policies. Product mix will also be due by the 14th of July. Next thing I'm going to need to do, and I need to do it for both, we will set up our website. And I'm actually going to switch to my even finer point pen, because now we're getting into the, oh my gosh, I've got so much stuff to do. So set up lead magnet, set posting schedule, etc. So that's how that would go. I'm just going to basically go through things starting on one side, working to the other, and set these out, and we're just going to outline this as we go down. And this should basically set up everything that I need to do for the next 6 months, if not, at the very least, the next 3 months should be actioned out here. And anyone that I'm going to need to help me, I can go, okay, who's going to help me with this? And I can make sure to tie them into the steps where I'm going to ask this person for help and advice. Now we can go into the next thing, which is the monthly. In my last week's video, I talked about the Game Changer mind map and timeline actions relationship sticker, and I said I would explain it and it would all make sense after this video. If you don't know where we're going with this, hopefully you'll figure it out in the next couple of minutes. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take what am I doing for this month, and I'm going to plop that into my game changer. My game changer for this month is set my business plan. Make it businesses. And I'd said in the previous video, you shouldn't need a lot of space because we've already done most of the mind mapping over here. Take this out. You can actually use something like this to help you with this plan here. Revisit business plan. And set website. And set budget. Goals. Once again, we can then break these down further. So if you have run out of space here, when you get to your monthly, you can just take this, go over here, keep doing it. So my what and when, we're going to, I believe we said revisit. First, we're going to revisit photography. Plan. How? Review creative live classes. We are going to join. I'm also going to say with this one, we're going to do that with Tess. All right. And then for my passion planner, set new business plan. Going to 1, determine ICP. 2, competitive analysis and SWOT. 3, cost of goods and prices. 4, then we should put product mix in here as well. Okay. And then we'll say both. Kick-ass website. All right. We need 1. I'm gonna have Chelsea help me with my SWOT analysis. SEO and targets, figure out your lead magnet. Okay, plan content, design, and execute. Just something my friend Tess can also help me with. So now I have my time frame for the month. I can further break these down each week. I can put in a sticker here and I can say, okay, I am going to do this first thing, revisit the photography business plan, reviewing my creative live classes, evaluating and joining Level Up. What does that mean? And then each and every day have something toward my goal. So the first week of July is actually way back here. Maybe I want to say, okay, on Monday, July 1st, the first thing I'm going to do is evaluate level Up and do a SWOT analysis. Fill that in there. Next thing I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to watch this creative live class Tuesday, this one Wednesday, this one Thursday. Friday, I'm going to brainstorm how these 3 things tie in. And that's basically, we're going to take these steps, break them down even further, and make them into daily actions. We can use the project planner sticker that Chelsea has available to kind of keep everything on task week by week by week, and then check these off as we go. At the end of the month, I can come back to this page, check off the things I've done, go in here, check these off, and then go ahead and highlight these as completed, which I'll show you where I did that previously. Circle the ones I'm working on, highlight them as I've completed them. This way, I keep going back to this. Now, one of the frequently asked questions I have is, how do you remember to check these pages? regularly, right? That's why we have the breakdown stickers monthly and we have weekly breakdown stickers. So that way every week when I'm setting up my weekly, I will fill out this sticker and then I will break it down further. And then every day I'm going to check off that I've done it. That reminds me to take a look to see what I've done and what my next step is. I'm hoping that all makes sense. If it is clear as mud or if there's something you'd like me to go into more, please let me know so that I can take a look at that. Once again, if you're in the Patreon, any of the levels, the $5, $10, or $20 level, you have access to the Facebook group, which basically gives you 24/7 access to me. Any questions that you have can be answered that way. Also, you can always leave a comment here, and I may do another Q&A or Ask Me Anything live in the next couple of weeks or so on, just so we can kind of go over this. I do have a plan. By the end of the year, I'm going to do a video where I show you how to set up a right brain business plan in your passion planner, as well as how I set up my back pages for the year for business. So those are all coming up, but once again, if you're in that group, you have access. You can ask me any question anytime and I will get back to you to try to answer it. I do Facebook Lives in the Patreon members group, so you get access to me for that as well. So anyway, that is how I've used these 2 stickers that were just released in the shop today to plan out my next 6 months. Make a plan, and how I use that plan to go in with this exclusive sticker that you only get when you're a Patreon subscriber as well. If you liked the video, please click on the subscribe button in the upper left-hand corner there to subscribe. Also, please make sure you like the video, share the video, leave a comment. Even if you don't have a question, leave a comment to let me know where I can improve, what you'd like to see more of. Until next Wednesday at 7 a.m., this is Elizabeth of ERW Plans and Elizabeth Williamsberg Planner Concepts. Instagram, ERW_plans. Have a great day, guys. See you next week.